most coaches are trying to talk you into change. I just go in there and change it.
Hmm.
So when we talk about mind control, it is mind control, but we're controlling our own minds, right? Our minds usually are out of control or they've been programmed by others or our society or the place that we grew up around or our parents' beliefs. So, we were already brainwashed as children to think, feel, and behave the way that we do. And so this is more like taking back control as an adult and deciding, how do I want to show up? And so, it's not brainwashing like you see in the movies, but it really is more of imagine that you already have this incredible computer. It's very powerful, but you downloaded some malware. And now all of a sudden, this computer virus is not allowing the program or the software to run the way it was designed. So I go in there like the Geek Squad for your brain, and I simply remove the malware, right? So we optimize the computer operating system with new beliefs, new habits, new ways of showing up that feel like they're just a part of you now at the identity level. So you're not having to use positive thinking. You're not having to use willpower or try to talk yourself into feeling differently or behaving differently. You're just doing it because we've upgraded the beliefs at the foundational level. And that's what makes this different. Most people focus on mindset. I focus on what's driving the mindset underneath.
So when it comes to uh, most of the people that come to you, what are some of the most common things that you work with them on? Like I think fear is one of the biggest ones, and fear it might be fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of failure. It all stems from fear. So how do
Yes.
you go in and go okay, let's change that and fix it?
Yes, yeah, great question. So the biggest fear that we all have is the fear of not being good enough. And if I'm not enough, I won't be loved. So how do I get love, right? Or how do I feel validated? How do I know that I'm enough? And that's where all the other fears come from. Like you said, the fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of embarrassment, the fear of being humiliated, the fear of being wrong, right? Or appearing weak, right? Or missing opportunities or imposter syndrome, all the fears that we have. A burnout is just a type of fear. And it comes from this feeling that we're not enough. And that feeling comes from a belief that we picked up when we were kids that we didn't even know we picked up, right? So we go through an experience that our brain is always trying to form meaning and trying to figure out what does this mean? What does that mean about me, about you, about the world we live in? And our brain makes up these beliefs without our permission and often without us even knowing it. So we're walking around with a lot of beliefs that the 7-year-old version of us adopted. And so a lot of those need to be updated. The way you do it is in session one, I use the awakening experience. And what I do is basically start with the feeling that you're having. So, say you're feeling really pressured about something. You're just trying to make something work, and it just feels like the harder you try, the more it gets blocked. And so, what we do is we double down, we work harder, we go faster. But we feel like the more we put into it, the more resistance comes up. And so, we start with that feeling of resistance, and we just follow it back to the very first time you ever felt that way. So I developed a simple technique that helps you to go right back to the moment when you first had that kind of experience to find the belief that was formed as a result of going through that initial experience. Most people are using talk therapy or free association, and it could take months or years to try to figure out where what that belief is or where it came from. We're able to do it in like the first 15 minutes. And so that's why people, high achievers like this because it's so fast and so efficient. And it works, right? And so you go back to that moment in time and we give you the resources that if you would have had the resources at that time, then maybe you would have looked at it differently or it wouldn't have been traumatic or you would have been able to handle it in a new way. So we go back and we give you those resources. We also go back and fill you with love and self-acceptance because that's so important. Love is the most powerful emotion in the universe. Fear is second. All right. And so what we do is we fill ourselves with that love. If you know you're loved, if you know you're enough, if you know you're safe, if you know that things are going to work out for you eventually, sooner or later, then that gives you the freedom to make bold moves, to take risks, right? To get outside your comfort zone, to do the things that might make you nervous or cause you to hesitate. And now you have cleaner decisions. You move faster. You have laser focus instead of being all over the place. right? And this builds competency. And so it's not just about confidence, it's about competency. And that can happen just by upgrading that core belief, often within minutes.
Now, you keep on saying it's within minutes or 15 minutes and whatnot. Is the turnaround pretty much the same for like in general for most people that you work with? Like, does people snap into that mindset right away?
Yes, yes. Now, there are a few more steps,
Hmm.
right? My book, One Belief Away, there might be a few beliefs away from
Right.
some of the goals that you want to accomplish. So the goal isn't to just try to fix things super fast. That's not the point. The point is to help you recognize how fast you can change,
Hmm.
right? How quickly you can shift from feeling like I'm not enough to I'm more than enough. I don't belong in this room to I do belong in this room and any other room I walk into as well,
Hmm.
right? That belief um, that I'm not ready for this versus the belief that this is how I become ready for this. Or a lot of people have fears of running out. I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to run out of time. I'm going to run out of opportunity, right? And so we're not running out, we're running up. Right? And so when you just little micro shifts like that can cause people to go, huh, never thought of it that way before. And so you can upgrade beliefs and then at the same time you can create these what I call micro shifts. You're also just one shift away from, getting to that next level of breakthrough. And so these little micro shifts, and I can share some of them with you today as well, so that people can start to use them to advance their career, to advance their love life, or whatever else they want to improve.